If you haven't seen, okay, so look,
Yeah,
guys, like,
no,
okay,
honestly, I'm angry too this time. If you haven't seen this and you're watching our show,
yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? What are
There's
you
a
doing?
better way to spend your next hour, and it's not us.
Yeah,
It's this
watch
movie.
this movie.
Yeah.
This movie, like this has influenced literally everything else since its time. Okay, you want to grab the snapper?
It still says, wow, what a hole. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
I'm so good at that.
I'm still better.
I'm doing the best at this.
I'm the original.
First is not always best.
First is always best.
I don't know, dude.
No, you know what's best? Triples.
Triples is best.
Triples is best.
Yeah.
That deal with the Nova just went through.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Welcome back to Anime Shmanime.
Where we try to convince this little fucker over here.
You're so rude to me.
Dude, you straight up said to me last episode that, I wish I had friends or something like that. I can't remember.
That's just is the truth. I
Yeah,
am
he
your friend.
implied you were desperate for camaraderie.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, just saying how it is.
Yeah. I guess I could be less rude, and
Honestly,
then maybe
no.
that would happen.
I hold your rudeness in high reverence.
Okay, thank you.
I love it.
All right. Anyway, I'm Mikey Lee, your host.
I'm Jordy Hedderwick, your little asshole.
Yeah, and we have our senpai.
Jay, hello, everybody.
Hello. And we are covering...
A legend.
Akira.
Yeah, dude.
An icon.
Fucking iconic. This one,
Bro.
oh my God, when it came out, oh my, man.
An absolute
yeah.
monumental
Yeah.
achievement.
If you haven't seen... Okay, so look.
Yeah,
guys, like...
No,
okay,
honestly, I'm angry too this time. If you haven't seen this and you're watching our show,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? What are
There's
you
a
doing?
better way to spend your next hour, and it's not us.
Yeah,
It's this
watch
movie.
this movie.
Yeah.
This movie, like this has influenced literally everything else since its time. Like go watch this, and also, yeah, why haven't you watched this?
Yeah, make different choices in life.
Yeah, make better choices.
Yeah. And if you have watched this, welcome.
Yeah. You guys know exactly what's about to happen because this is a fucking
Yeah.
masterpiece.
So I can't give a funny description to this show because everything I thought to compare it to was influenced by this.
Yes.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
So I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
We're not even gonna give you a spoiler warning. You should have seen this already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
there's a
you're so
statute
right,
of
though.
limitations on
Yeah.
Akira spoilers. But yeah, I couldn't do it.
How many other things could you describe as Akira meets blank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? That
exactly.
have come after this.
Totally.
Right? Like, this
100%.
is the thing that you use as the descriptor.
It is. It is.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, like think
Very
about
Akira-like.
Yeah.
I think about just the bike slide alone.
That scene alone, I know.
And that happens like early in the movie too.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like every single fucking time you see a bike in a TV show,
It slides like that.
It slides.
Yeah.
We
Always.
a while back we saw a compilation. Some genius, some hero of my life, compiled all the moments from it was like a 3-minute long video of just bikes sliding like Akira.
Yeah.
in a video, one after another.
Yeah, I gotta watch that.
And like it crosses
So
the
good.
spectrum of things you would think would be influenced by Akira, like little children's shows.
Yeah.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Strange shit
A
like
kid
that.
on like a tricycle does it. Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is gonna just be a straight up gush episode. We're not even gonna
It
get
might
into
be. Well,
like finished plot.
I have some hangups,
Okay.
but we'll get there.
fair enough. Okay,
you
cool.
don't have hangups. I've already said you don't have hangups. There's no,
okay.
you're not allowed
Sorry.
to have them.
I want to say a couple general thoughts right off the top about this movie. The first thing that struck me watching it now, because I've watched this movie many times, but like I'm smarter now that I like to think than I was when I was younger and would have
Yeah.
watched this movie a bunch.
course.
It's been a while for me. So what stood out for me is this is a movie about the supervillain.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
about the good guy.
No.
That's right.
Which you don't see a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's really uncommon.
100%.
Especially back when this was made, right? Like it's really breaking the mold.
100% before its time. Well, because like
Yeah.
now you're seeing like villain movies, like in the Marvel universe and stuff like that, or even like with Joker, right? Those movies are coming to the forefront because they're making these villains more relatable, right? They're humanizing them, right? Where Akira fucking did this like years ago.
Yeah, 1988. I mean, at the time, like Dragon Ball was taking over the world. I mean, everybody was used to like the.
I mean, we all love Vegeta.
Right, but
like, it's not the same.
No, I mean everybody was just used to like the chosen one hero protagonist. Yeah, with the chosen one powers, is going to do the chosen one story.
Everyone's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
But this is Darth Vader.
This is chosen one for a different fate.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. Another thing that stood out that should bother me but doesn't. This is like textbook bothers Jordy. But in this movie doesn't. Is the fact that like by the end of it, you still don't really know quite what Akira is. Do you know what I mean?
Correct.
Yeah. And that should bother me. Really should. But in this movie, for some reason, it's fitting. Like I don't mind that.
Because again, I think we've talked about this where things aren't fleshed out the way you like it, Jordy, is okay because it lends itself to kind of real life where things don't always get fleshed out. Things are a mystery.
I think in this movie, it's just so big and iconic and ominous that letting that slide feels really easy. Whereas in other shows that are like not as great, I'm less likely to let anything slide. Sure. Yeah, and that's probably just me.
This is also going to bring up another thing, and this is actually my main sticking point over the entire film, is that it's actually a really, really bad adaptation of its source material.
Oh, really?
Yes. This comes from a manga, okay? And what we see in this film is like a small fraction of the manga's story.
Interesting.
They basically adapted like the first chunk of the manga
Yeah.
and the last chunk of the manga.
Huh.
And either filled in some gaps, changed things, made up the middle to make it work as a film.
Wow.
But you're literally getting like the beginning and end of the story and almost none of the middle.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
So a lot of these unanswered questions that you have actually have answers. That either sucks.
I was going to say,
or
that kind of
does
ruins
it for
it.
you.
Yeah.
I think it mostly depends on whether or not you're going to go pick up the Akira manga now and make a point.
I
of
mean, it's
doing
a
that.
big
I
one
love
too.
the idea of that, but ain't nobody got time for that.
Well,
Right,
like how
but
many
think about
volumes
how
is the
great.
manga?
Think about how great this is. Think about expanding on how
I
great
mean,
this is,
I like the idea of it.
and not at the hands of some guy who's taken the original thing and is now expanding on it on his own.
Yeah.
But
What do
the
you guys,
original thing
I
is
think
much bigger.
The other thing too, though, for you, Jordy, is that it's like this also has some nostalgia because this one was one of the first animes
100%
that you've seen, right?
100%. I mean, you stole Umar's copy. And Umar was my friend before I knew what anime was.
What's up, Umar?
What's up, my dude?
know you're watching.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right, 100%.
Where's my Akira?
That's the worst Umar impression.
That was totally the worst.
But I also love it.
Yeah.
I love you, Umar.
I'm gonna wonder what Umar has to say about that.
But you're 100% right about the nostalgia. And I'm always harping on you guys for saying shows should be great because of your nostalgia factor that I don't have. But I'm on the other side of the table for this one.
Yeah.
Because I really do truly hold this movie like, man, as far as at least animated like content goes, God tier.
Yes,
Dude, this was one of the most expensive animes to make.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what was the
$5.5 million or 700 million yen.
Yeah.
For animation, for just drawing some pictures.
The combined production and advertising budget was around 1.1 billion yen.
You like how I boiled it down to just drawing some pictures?
Dude, I let that one slide because of how much you love it.
And I had to actually
But then you
just
had then
put
now
it right in your lap.
now you had to put it in my face.
Yeah.
So go fuck yourself.
Yeah. What do you guys think about Bart Kira?
Again, one of so many. Man.
Yeah.
One of so many.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, super expensive, and again, it was because the hand animation that was done on this was groundbreaking, influential. I mean, they basically invented a new style of animating explosions
Interesting.
specifically for this film that basically has become just the standard in all anime now.
Sick.
And
It looks dope.
because
dude.
of this movie.
It looks fucking
They
dope.
pioneered shit for this movie that just stuck till 2022.
Yeah.
Is still being used as like gospel.
Yeah.
You don't
Yeah.
break from the tradition that Akira started.
And if you do,
yeah,
it looks like
100%.
shit, probably.
Well, here's the other thing, right? Like they've not only just influenced everyone, it's now just the foundation for everything.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the creation story of the Bible, basically. You know what I mean? It's like in order for all of this to make sense, we need to remember that this is why.
Yeah, Tetsuo Jesus.
Yeah, that's what she.
He died for our sins.
Canada Judas?
Judas.
Tetsuo's kind of both.
That was an ass pull.
Tetsuo's kind of both.
No, I love Canada. So.
Yeah. Do you want to give us some more backstory on top of that budget you just dropped in our laps?
Yeah, I'll try and paraphrase, guys. There's a lot of information on this film because I mean,
it's out of the years, really,
and
right?
People have just studied the fuck out of it. The background has been explored, the behind the scenes. There's so much info here. I don't want to overwhelm you guys, but real quickly, Akira, which is just Akira because it's a name, is a 1988 Japanese animated cyberpunk action film directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, produced by Ryohei Suzuki and Shunzo Kato, and written by Otomo and Izo Hashimoto, based on Otomo's 1982 manga of the same name. Set in a dystopian 2019, it tells the story.
Holy shit! They were way off.
I was waiting for you to say the fucking year.
Yeah. It tells the story of Shotaro Kaneda, a leader of a biker gang whose childhood friend Tetsuo Shima acquires incredible telekinetic abilities after a motorcycle accident, eventually threatening an entire military complex amid chaos and rebellion in the sprawling futuristic metropolis of Neo Tokyo. That's right, people. The main character is not named Akira. The other main character is not named Akira. Neither of these guys are named Akira. Get that out of your fucking head. That's the most annoying shit ever, man. I hate
it's Akira.
Or it's like when people like Zelda, you know what I mean? It's like
don't get me started on that Zelda shit right now. Because
I Zelda shirt.
Well, that's
that
what
happens to you all the time.
Because I love Zelda so much. There's a meme where
the green elf boy with the sword and the shield. That's Zelda.
Yeah,
it's named Zelda.
I'm gonna murder you.
The game is named after him.
I'm gonna murder you.
Anyways, so again, the film production budget was massive. It made it the most expensive anime film of all time at the time.
Yeah.
So while most of the character designs and settings were adapted from the manga, the plot differs considerably, as I said. And actually, most of what is skipped is like the latter half. You pick up right at the very end, but like there's a lot of heavy shit loaded towards the back end that you just don't get.
Okay.
Again, the manga continued publication for 2 years after the film's release.
Interesting.
So this is a situation where the manga couldn't keep up.
Yeah.
They wanted to put the movie out. They got to get this out now, and the manga's taking too long. So get it out. It's like Game of Thrones.
I was going to say, was it a situation where they just like capped the movie off where the manga was, or was it a situation where they like got in bed with the writers and said, "Where are you taking this?"
The writer was involved in the movie. Otomo wrote the manga and wrote the movie.
So that's what Game of Thrones did too. Same thing. Yeah.
He was in the room. He could figure out, all right, how can we make this into somewhat of a feasible film?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Which I mean, considering. It took me multiple watches to really felt like I understood this movie like at all.
Yeah.
Well, especially as
it adapts
a kid.
a lot.
Yeah.
It adapts a lot of information.
Yeah.
I should say that for me, like my nostalgia for this is not probably as young as both of yours. Like I'm talking like I'm a teenager smoking weed in the basement, tripping balls to this movie. Like that's the nostalgia for me. Do you know what I mean?
I would have been like just before finding weed, I guess.
Yeah.
like early teens, I would have known about this.
Okay, cool.
But this is the thing. Like this
off.
is also like typical Japanese style, like 90s, late 80s, 90s. It's very cerebral, right?
sure.
Like even like think about Ghost in the Shell that came out after like this whole trend of like cyberpunk and being like the government and like post-apocalyptic shit, right?
Like it's eye candy, but it's not candy. It's not an easy watch.
No,
you know what I mean?
No,
yeah,
right. And also back then too, it's gritty, right?
Totally.
I think George Lucas and who was it? George Lucas and Spielberg said it was like unmarketable to the West.
Yeah.
In like the early, like when it first came out.
Yeah, because cartoons in the West have always been clean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Tidy.
Tidy.
Yeah.
But when this broke through in the West, when it did get through, it became like probably the number one influencer as far as the Western's understanding and appreciation of anime. This was probably number one.
Yeah.
when it broke through.
You got to remember sometimes that like as a person who like consumes animated art, like you always see like what the top stuff is, the popular stuff is, and yeah, you could look deeper, but the people who make animated art, they're deep in the world. They're looking for those obscurities to find their influence because they're so invested in it. Do you know what I mean?
It's like us with music and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the obscure shit that we know about that your average listener might not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we do lots of deep dives, right?
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
Something.
And nowadays with the internet, it's easier for your average anime consumer to find these. But like when this was coming out, the average animation consumer in the West would have never known this existed. But the animators have those back channels, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But look,
They're passionate about it.
Totally.
You know, they're gonna look everywhere for their influence. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I fucking want that bike though.
Yeah,
That
you
bike.
do. Someone made one, didn't we?
Yeah, somebody
talked-
did actually make a real version of this bike.
Can't be road legal though.
Oh, it was
Probably is.
100%
Yeah?
road legal.
Probably is.
Yeah. Like I mean, I have all the like old McFarlane toys when they came out.
Okay,
right.
sick.
But it's just I just love this bike. I want it so bad, so bad.
Nice.
There's a motorcycle that I could have. It would be this one. And also, not to mention, I don't know if they're other than the Tron bike
Yeah.
and the Dark Knight bike.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other motorcycle that is I like as far as like nerd culture goes as iconic as these ones.
I mean, you're probably right.
Right? Like
Even the Dark Knight bike, I wouldn't put up, to be honest with you.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
yeah,
later in the
was
game.
It's
much
way
later.
later,
It doesn't
but-
have the widespread
Yeah.
influence.
Yeah.
worldwide.
This is the bike.
This is
the
the
number
bike.
one.
You could pluck somebody out of pretty much any country in the world and
Yeah.
probably they've
like-
seen this bike before.
Yeah.
Right?
Is this pre or post Tron? I have that as a question in my notes too.
So this is post Tron.
Okay, interesting. So Tron influenced Akira.
So
The light
yeah,
bike,
with the light
probably.
bike,
Yeah.
with
So
the
I
lights
could have
and
used
stuff
that
like
in my description.
No,
It's not fair though.
Not
no,
enough.
not,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just the
Okay.
design of the bike isn't
Okay.
enough to use it as a descriptor.
Yeah.
I mean, like artistically in the anime, maybe as far as the way that he uses the lights to
Yeah.
like move in and out,
For
like
sure.
in Tron did, but as far as the manga was out like
Yeah, well,
way
you have
before.
to assume they didn't pluck this out of thin air. They were
No,
influenced
yeah,
by something, right?
Yeah.
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 Also, like the tumbler bike from the Dark Knight. Where do you think it got its inspiration from?
Yeah, 100%.
Right.
Literally,
Is there a slide in Dark Knight? I bet you there is.
There is.
There
Yeah.
is.
because that's when you see the tumbler wheels actually work
Yeah.
for the first time. But it's like
Amazing.
directly cited as an influence.
I love
Yeah.
it.
for the Dark Knight.
Makes me really happy.
I'll cap out my senpai's corner. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna name some things that this has been cited as a direct influence on.
Fucking right.
Across all media. Okay.
Yeah.
So just for anime, for example, Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
100%.
Obviously.
Heavily.
It's
right?
there, yeah.
Cowboy Bebop we haven't covered yet, but Mikey and I know, and you
Yep.
guys know if you've seen it, how fucking absolutely massive that is.
Yep.
But then you get into other things like Hideo Kojima's work in video games with Metal Gear Solid. Okay. Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Massive, right? You want to get into Hollywood films. The Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that too.
Kill
big time.
Bill. Chronicle.
A Chronicle I saw big time.
Okay.
It's a clone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looper. The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Godzilla. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Batman Beyond. Fucking Stranger Things, guys. Like
Yeah.
this, like every fucking thing.
Yeah. It's there.
In 2022, they're still pulling from this.
It's the groundwork for all those kind of like futuristic, post-apocalyptic,
Yeah.
cyberpunk. I mean, what was cyberpunk before Akira? Like they mastered it, I would say.
Blade Runner.
Yeah, Blade Runner would probably be the closest thing. Yeah. The post-apocalyptic would have been like
Yeah, but it's peak.
yeah.
it's
Blade,
peak cyberpunk.
Blade Runner is kind of considered the all-father of that
yeah.
aesthetic.
I would say they've built upon it and made it a masterpiece.
yeah,
though,
yeah,
Jim Akira.
yeah.
I think Japan was definitely the one who did
Yeah.
it, like the best and the first.
Yeah.
I think the first, to be honest.
Well, Blade
respect.
Runner was 1982.
Okay.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
There's probably some other ones in there that we just don't know about, but whatever.
Anyway.
Okay, so let's talk about the world of Neo Tokyo because that's where we are in Akira. Okay, so obviously we've already established it's cyberpunk, right? And just we're kind of gonna meld art and world in this, I think,
Sure
a little
are.
bit. But the visuals of Neo Tokyo are fucking amazing, dude.
Oh,
and
yeah.
the first time you see it, it's that like overhead shot with the explosion.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
I'm saying? That
Oh.
is. I wanted Mikey to put that here because I was like, Mikey,
explosion?
make it the explosion. Yeah, it's iconic, dude.
Well, like
It's true, it
stupid
is
little
true.
bullshit fun fact, like when the fashion brand Supreme did their collaboration with Akira,
Yeah.
they put out their famous sticker with their logo, and the background of the sticker was that Neo Tokyo explosion.
That's badass. Yeah.
They had shirts as well of Tetsuo getting an injection. You know what I mean? Like, and they used that scene of the explosion prominently throughout that collaboration because it's so iconic.
It is
that one shot alone.
And again, that's the other problem. Like, and you were saying like why I didn't put it up on the screen behind me is because it's been duplicated. I don't know how many times now. That explosion, like you see that particular bulb or like that dome in so many
cool
different things now,
Super
right?
cool, yeah.
So like as iconic as it is for that specific ones, yes, Akira fans will know 100%. But like for the ones who haven't really seen it, who really need to.
I get your choice. I understand your choice.
This is also a classic poster. And how many times has this been like?
And you've got a boner for the bike.
I got such a fucking
It's
boner.
for me top 5 film posters of all time.
Yeah.
Top 5.
I believe it for sure.
Yeah. I've seen this one where like dude makes like a Zelda version of it, and like or
there's
very Mikey.
multiple
Very
versions.
Mikey.
multiple versions of this poster, and I love it.
The other cool thing about that intro scene is the explosion is the red block letters Akira, the whole screen, which is like also so iconic. And on top of that, and we're gonna fold music into this conversation too. Yeah. Really, this is just the gush segment, okay, guys, get over it. So the drumming, the drums, and the vocal chanting happening over top of it, it's all just so huge, man. It's huge.
And I think like you think Ghost in the Shell. Think about the soundtrack and the chanting.
It's there.
And all that from Ghost. Oh man, that was the first thing it made me think of.
Huge.
Yeah.
Another thing I like about Neo Tokyo is they really quickly take you through the multiple like scenery, like the multiple vibes that Neo Tokyo could have. Like the first time you see it, it almost feels like Vegas. There's like lights and shit like that, and it's kind of crazy. And then they explain to you like about the riots, and so you see this like kind of like riot torn, fucked up city, and then they take you to the old city, which is like all industrial and kind of like littered
Gritty.
and like super gritty. And so you get those 3 levels. You get the spectrum of what Neo Tokyo has to offer.
Well, the other cool thing too is like at the time of this release, this is the most detailed anime film ever.
Yeah.
Right?
I believe it.
Right? Like you couldn't get any more detailed than this.
Yeah.
Right? But fuck.
It paid off, dude. It looks fucking sick, man.
Yeah.
It looks amazing. This is a random point I had about art, but like the way they like draw debris is fucking amazing because it's everywhere in this movie, right? And that's what you mean about detail. There's just like little piles of shit in the corners of
lights.
scenes.
Yeah.
The
Little
background
tidbit.
lights that are flashing and strobing and stuff. That
Totally.
Are just like, what the
It's
fuck?
brilliant, man.
It was
It's
like
brilliant.
what 1,600,000
That's not a number.
No, sorry, 160,000 since. I do math. I do. I do so much math.
Jordy's reaction trying to figure out that number just killed me.
1,600,000.
1,600,000. Okay. Yes.
The gears turn in his brain. He's like, wait. That's not a
160,000 single pictures to create the animation scene on screen. Yeah.
Wow.
How much are those cells worth now? Like people probably have those framed in their rooms.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
don't know.
cells from much less iconic anime sell for hundreds of dollars, and they're not even of the main characters.
Yeah.
So a main character cell of Akira, you're probably talking tens of thousands of
Dude,
dollars.
fucking NFT it. Give me that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go down the road of them NFTs. I've got.
You have a few?
No, no, I don't. But I've got my issues with them. I don't have issues. I have opinions. There we go.
Okay.
Moving
So
on.
another thing that I find is animated really well and like interestingly in this show is the way they animate like morphing and writhing flesh. Like that happens a lot in this movie. And it's just fucking sick, dude.
The body horror is
Yeah.
like very on point.
And sometimes it's like a flash for a second, but it's so like well drawn that like you don't miss it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's really well done.
Yeah. Actually, I did a mural of Tetsuo.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Where he's like reaching out and his arms going all crazy and like
Love that
blooding
arm.
out. And then,
big beefy arm.
yeah, it was so sick. It was
love
a
it,
lot
dude.
of fun to paint that one.
Yeah. I mean, we could keep gushing about art and just saying how dope it is.
Yeah.
Is there anything else specific you guys want to pull out and
Well, if
have
we're
a talk
doing
about?
the audio segment of it,
Yeah.
Little fun fact. I've got a few up here, but
You do fun
and-
facts?
Sometimes we do, yeah. This one's more for Jay because so the scan like where I guess there's this part where he's getting scanned. It's actually the sound from Alien. the
Interesting.
motherboard. Yeah,
That's sick.
yeah,
Yeah.
the sound machine scanning.
Did they like
Same
guerrilla
scan.
style steal it, or like were they like given
probably.
approval?
Probably, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
At the
I don't
time?
know.
Yeah, they did.
In
'Cause
the
that's
80s?
sick.
Who's going to follow
yeah.
up on that?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you guys stole our sound for the alien motherboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guy was in North America watching Akira. He's like,
Yeah,
I know that scan sound.
yeah.
Pulls out his phone, his giant phone.
Honestly, it was probably an homage because like
Yeah.
right like
Yeah.
Probably.
yeah
Yeah, you're right.
because a lot of stuff is North American stuff is
vice
influential
versa.
for it, right?
But
Like
we're just saying, was there maybe some legality that they ignored
Yeah.
when
I like to think-
homaging
Yeah.
Alien?
I like to think they did because that makes the movie more badass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
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 Gangsters.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
Oh.
We're just going to decide right now.
yeah,
Fucking right.
and it was the first film to depict outer space as a soundless vacuum.
Was outer space in this movie?
Yeah, like the big beam and the
Oh
satellite.
yeah, you're right. He
Yeah.
does fly out to space. You're right, 100%. Interesting.
Interesting. Fun
I,
facts.
I'm always a fan of the like use of silence for effect, and this movie kills it.
Yeah.
Killed again. We talked about that big explosion because it's like almost there's like maybe an ominous hum in the background, but like
Yeah.
that's effective, man.
But what was it? There's even in horror movies they do something similar where there's like the I can't remember what it's actually called, but it's like the scare note or the fear note, and it's like this frequency that they just they just leave on the whole time just to make your body feel uncomfortable. Yeah, something like that. That's which is making me really uncomfortable. Stop it. Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like piques anxiety in
Yeah.
you, right,
Yeah.
for no reason, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
So it
Just heightens the tension.
heightens everything.
Yeah.
Like, your senses.
Hell yeah,
Okay, last fun fact before I go.
I love it.
Where are you going?
I'm not going anywhere actually. before I
please don't go.
before I end this. Yeah. By the way, guys, I'm leaving because of that uncomfortable
Our
sound.
shortest episode
yeah,
yet.
yeah, that fucking Jordy's making.
He's still doing the noise.
Yeah. But it predicted.
He's trying to make it look like he's not, though. That's clever.
I'm gonna mute you in a second.
Oh no. Okay, give us your last
Okay.
fun fact.
But it's a very common knowledge one. But it predicted the Tokyo Games in 2020.
What?
Yeah, the Olympic Games.
What do you mean it predicted them?
Go on.
The fact that like a guy's
Yeah.
arm was going to explode and the
No,
Tokyo Games
Tok-
get destroyed?
No, that it was going to be held in Tokyo. The Olympics were going to be held. The Summer Olympics were going to be held in Tokyo.
Cool. Interesting.
In 2020, and it predicted that.
Did they have the bid in already? And they were just like, I mean, we made the movie.
Dude,
guys.
it was in the 80s, man.
We made the movie.
It's like a serious Simpsons prediction. You know what? I am leaving. Fuck you both.
That was funny.
yeah. Sick. Yeah, sweet.
Sweet. Anyway, let's get into plot.
Okay, I have a fun fact before we get into plot that if you go and like and subscribe our page,
Wow.
you
Stolen.
can
Yeah,
right.
stolen.
Well, Mikey's
Good
been
Rob.
fucking.
I've been
Mikey's been
fucking
shit
up,
lately
yeah.
at it. So
This is like a role reversal. He's doing fun facts. You're
Yeah.
doing the
Yeah,
fucking
you
subscribe
subscribe.
thing.
Mikey hates this movie.
No, I do not hate this movie. We all know how much of a heart on I have for this bike.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
Anyways,
the bike,
please like and subscribe, guys.
Yeah.
Please tell us what's up. Please
Help
tell
us
Mikey
out,
that
yeah.
he needs to do better.
No, you need to do better, sir.
I just did.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving
Good day
on.
to you, sir.
Good day to you.
All right, but please, yeah, we love you guys. Say what's
Yeah.
up to us online. Okay, let's talk about some caricatures.
Caricatures.
Obviously, we're going to start off by talking about Tetsuo, who is like your classic supervillain, but he's like reluctant, where like shit's happening to him.
I was just gonna say it's just happening to him.
Yeah, and he doesn't know. Like at first he doesn't know what the fuck's going on, but he like kind of does. Like there's a resentment to it happening to him, right? Like he's kind of like pissed off that it's occurring.
He's reluctant.
Yeah,
Yeah, he-
exactly.
If he had a choice, it wouldn't be happening.
Yeah, and at first he like lashes out. He's like, there's a helpless vibe he has. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's helpless, and so he's lashing out. But then he like leans too hard into it.
Well,
you know
that's
what I mean?
the extreme, right? Especially because these characters are young.
Yeah.
Right? And we've talked about this before and about other animes, about how their character is a real good representation
Yeah.
of their age.
Yeah.
And he's kind of like this, he's not, I wouldn't say spoiled, but he's, he's got that bratty vibe where even he's like, I can drive that bike.
Yeah, there's
right?
like an entitlement sense he has.
Right, like he feels like he should be the main character.
Yeah, and he's this is a common theme in the movie, but like he's always constantly sick that like people are like saving him all the time.
Yeah,
or like that like doing things for him, and he's like, I can do it for myself. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's like a power fantasy type thing that you see so much in anime where. It gets worse as he develops more power, and as he starts to realize how much power he has, it exacerbates those negative traits as his power grows.
Yeah,
exactly, because he goes from one extreme to the other, right? Because he's been coddled in a way.
Yeah, but you're right. He starts kind of scared and like reluctant and freaked out by it. And then
what's neat is because of that, they end up putting him in a couple situations where he needs to be saved. Like it has to happen or something, you know what I mean? Or at least people perceive it does. And then it just makes it worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's really clever because they drove his character development with that. And it's really smart. I mean, we could talk more about him, but that's kind of the basis of Tetsuo.
Yeah.
So the other I really only think there's two characters you want to talk about. And the other ones
for me, but I like
there are a couple
others.
characters, but they're all just kind of like But Kaneda is the other guy.
Man.
And he's like the blueprint for your like standard cool likable guy who ends up saving the day, being a hero. You know what I mean?
He's got that like my friend's older brother who's super cool.
Totally. Like
kind of vibe.
At the beginning he's totally your like funny guy. He leads the gang, but because he's like likable, he's not tough or scary. He's just everyone likes him the most.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the movie, he's riding in with a bike with a giant gun in his
laser
arm.
gun,
Don't worry, I got this, guys. You know what I mean? Like that's him, right?
But that's the dynamic between the two, right? And it's you see across everything where you have like two people at odds. They're rivals, right? They love each other, but they're competing against each other. That's how they grow,
totally,
right? So it's 100%.
Yeah, they have such that older brother, younger brother vibe that I think most people who think one of the characters' names is Akira, probably believes that they're brothers.
Yeah, I could also see
I could
that.
see that. Yeah, for sure.
But you're right. That dynamic is there, so I blame them a little less for thinking that they're brothers.
That's true.
Than for thinking that
at
their
no
name
point did they say, Akira,
No.
what's up, dude? Yeah.
But can I say something about the character designs for like Kyoko or like the other little people,
the
like
Espers?
the Espers, like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
made
yeah,
me
that's true.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like having that weird Benjamin Button kind of like old,
Yeah.
old
terrifying.
wrinkly. Yeah.
It's a weird. Like, what are they trying to say? That they're like, are they older than their size? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was like a look how wise they are despite being so young.
I
on
thought
this
that
earth.
too, except one of them is not wise. One of them is a child.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
You're
It's
right,
just a
though.
visual
The
choice.
design of those was really strange.
Yeah.
Really strange.
Unsettling,
Yeah.
for sure.
We could also talk about Kaneda's fucking badass outfit.
Dude, I straight up want to buy that jacket too.
It's honestly, that's some iconic shit.
Yeah.
It's a little Michael
bad
Jackson.
for your health.
It's a little Michael Jackson.
Bad for
Yeah.
your health. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, so fucking sick. Man.
Yeah, it's
That's-
sick.
Maybe I'll fucking cosplay as him for Anime North.
Maybe you did cosplay as him for Anime North because
Yes,
we've already
the
been there.
bending
That's classic, man. That's fucking classic. I hope Anime North just hurries up and gets here so we can stop
faking out everybody.
Yeah.
We have no build up to it at all.
Yeah.
It's just all after.
Holy shit.
We're pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used to be.
Used to be.
So
People can change.
Yeah, people can change. Another outfit thing that I think is worth talking before we get into the plot is Tetsuo's cape, which is literally just like a torn piece of curtain he pulls out of the rubble. And I was like, that's kind of fucking sick. I don't know why he needed it, why he grabbed it. He just did. But it looks sick as fuck. Yeah.
Makes him feel powerful, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, I guess once you get superpowers, you're like, I should have a cape.
Yeah. I mean, have you ever tried wearing a cape while having superpowers? 'Cause
Honestly,
it might
yeah.
synergize in a way that we just don't know.
It probably does.
I mean, there is
Powers, cape.
there is something to be said about being in a particular outfit.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Right. That really kind of puts you in a mode.
Even on a day-to-day, dude. Like, I
Yeah.
dress up in my favorite clothes, and I feel like $1 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Must be the $1 million.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
For all of our Jesse fans out there.
Yeah. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into the plot of this movie. Wow. Wow.
It's okay. He's Korean.
I'm Korean.
He's allowed to do that.
I actually just don't know what the words are, so I was making them up.
Yeah, that's the point, Mikey.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, let's
digress.
get into the plot of the
anyway.
movie. So we open up. Obviously, we have that iconic imagery before the movie kind of kicks in, and the first real scene we get is we're in this skeezy bar, which is kind of like a gang hangout kind of vibe, right?
Yeah.
And again, it's cyberpunk, so there's garbage everywhere and debris. It looks kind of gross. Out back behind the bar, Tetsuo is like working on a bike, so automatically you get this kind of like he's like a savant kind of kid, like he knows about tech, right?
Yeah.
They don't really play into that too much, but it's just a neat little character trait that he's not just a nobody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like smart. He's got some shit
Also,
going
that
for him.
you know, he's more of a work with his hands type, and maybe
Yeah.
not necessarily a book smart intellectual type.
And not even like I'm in a motorcycle gang type. He's a more of like I just like motorcycles type.
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So then the gang, the I don't know if their gang has a name, but they go out after the clown gang.
Yeah.
And
And again,
yeah.
we recently did Tokyo Revengers, which is another reference to a
To-
certain
yeah.
type of motorcycle gang, the Bosuzoku gangs that used to exist back then.
Yeah.
And it was a super popular cultural thing.
Yeah.
I highly recommend you look into it because it was real.
Yeah.
And you can find really awesome actual photographs of people from this era
Yeah.
that like they look like this. Like
Yeah.
the bikes obviously don't, but like
Yeah.
the
Sure.
uniforms, it's very real and cool.
But
Yeah.
not just that though. Like I recently watched a documentary on just like biker groups,
Yeah.
and how they like soup up and like aesthetically change the look of their bikes.
for sure.
Like it's wild, man. And
Theatrics to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a huge amount of theatrics.
Totally.
Yeah. Definitely go check that out if you
Yeah.
haven't.
It's very different than the like
Yeah.
black leather,
Yeah.
beer belly, tattooed North American viewpoint
Totally.
on biker
Standard
gangs.
tough guy.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Speaking of theatrics, we get the bike slide in this scene.
Yes.
Which, I mean, we could start again and do it all over, but we've been there.
We've already done
it's
it.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It's iconic as hell. So then we switch away from the gangs, and there's this guy in a trench coat running through the streets, and dogs are chasing him, and he's dragging this child behind him, but the child is also an old man.
Yes.
And so obviously, like, some crazy shit's going down here. He shoots those dogs up, and then the dude and the elderly child like run into the riot-torn area where like shit's going down. So there's cops everywhere, helicopters and shit like that. And I'm wondering to myself too, like, okay, there's riots, which is why there's a police presence, but is some of this police presence also for them having escaped this like military? You know what I mean? So like, I think those two things happening at the same time. Like, there's people chasing them.
yeah,
know what I mean?
no, I just don't remember if it was.
They don't say one way or the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
But to me, it seemed like this is not all for the riots.
right.
There's
Yeah.
some shit going down also, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, then that dude gets shot to death, like a lot.
Yeah.
Many times.
Plenty of
Many
times.
bullets, much blood. Yeah. And this elderly child freaks the fuck out and screams a sonic boom,
Yeah.
which is also like imagery is badass, like
So
that
cool.
explosion.
Yeah.
And then this kid just disappears.
Yeah.
Gone. Which is a strange mechanism that, again, they don't explain much about what the kid's powers are.
Yeah.
But
That continues as well.
But I
Yep.
am uncharacteristically letting it all slide for this movie. So I'm sorry, but also not sorry at all.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, again, I don't know if I need those things to be explained for this
Yeah.
movie. Normally I would, but like, I don't know.
But I think
I don't
that's
know.
the nice thing. Like if you are a spectator watching this happen,
Yeah.
like Kanada or Tetsuo, or even
Yeah.
like, because I think that's the first time you see Kai too, like right in the.
Oh, is that the little fat elderly child?
No, the other girl.
Oh, you do see her in this scene too.
Right,
Yeah, you're
right. So it's like you don't know what's going on. You're about to witness
no
some
idea.
crazy shit.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is stuff that you see in movies, and
Yeah.
it's actually happening in real life. Right.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
I do think that this is. I was just thinking about what I said about how I'm going to let it all slide, and it's 100%. We've already touched on this, but it's a case of my nostalgic value for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm thinking if I'm like me now, never having seen Akira, not being an anime fan,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to let that shit slide. I'm going to be annoyed by it.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sorry, not sorry. Okay. So
Hey, at least you recognized
Yeah.
it. You called yourself out
Yeah,
on it. You know?
true.
Your hypocrisy
It's well documented.
is well
Yeah.
documented.
Okay. So at this point, we also meet the elderly fat child, and the elderly fat child was tracking the tiny elderly child with his mind, another power
Yeah.
they have. And you find out they're like kind of working for or with the military in some way. That's where these kids have come from.
Yeah, or being used by.
Yeah,
Totally.
being used by.
And then now we run back into our gang with who are after the clown gang because Tetsuo like just drives his bike into this tiny elderly child and gets blown the fuck up. Boom!
Yeah.
Which is also another great explosion.
Crazy
They're all
scene,
good.
yeah.
They're all
Crazy,
good.
yeah.
And then the military shows up and like takes the elderly tiny child away. And takes Tetsuo away and arrests all the other gang members, and everyone's screaming, and no one knows what the fuck's going on. No one knows what's going on, including you when you're watching this. And then Kaneda, when they arrest him, he has the best fucking story. He's like, "Oh, we were just out for a ride to go see my dying mom," and they're like, "So what about your mom then?" And he's like, "Oh, she got better." He's such a snarky asshole. I love it, dude. I love it.
Asshole.
Yeah, it's the best, man.
That's great.
And then they break out, and he ends up last minute being like, "Oh, there's one more of us," and takes Kai. You called her?
Yeah.
Kai.
K.
I think it's
He
K.
takes her and saves her as well too. Not that she needed saving, but it's just like he was he had an impulse.
Impulse. Yeah.
Sorry,
yeah.
my words are fucked right now. Okay, so then we switch over to Tetsuo in like whatever facility they took him to, and he's in this crazy futuristic MRI machine. And, like gears are going around, and the sound from Alien is playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they this is another thing that like this one was for some reason harder for me to let slide, but they talk about his pattern being unique. I'm like, what's the pattern? They constantly bring up this concept of a pattern.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Right? Like you are going to ask for data, not being like a neurologist who can understand said data or evidence.
I don't need data. I just need them to call it something that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, why mention it then? Otherwise, it's just jargon. Right?
Yeah.
And like jargon's fine; it can add to a situation. But like, if you're just getting a lot of jargon that you just don't understand, it starts to make you feel stupid or like you're missing something.
But
and that's not good.
Are you talking against what I said?
No, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you.
He's
in
agreeing
yeah.
with you.
Yeah. In the sense that like they can use fancy words and all that, and in one sense it establishes, oh, this is some official doctor shit.
Yeah.
But it also is maybe suggesting to you that you're either stupid or you missed something.
By calling it the pattern, though, I felt like they were telling me they think I'm stupid. Because I'm like, give it a name that at least tells me a little bit of what. I don't need all the jargon.
Yeah.
But like, pattern of what? What pattern?
But he's just saying
So
that
it's
might
just
make
the
sense
pattern.
to a neurologist.
Yeah.
It might not make sense to you because you're Jordy.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
right.
guess
Like
so.
I'm not going to be like, hey, what is this pattern that's not going to make any sense to me because I don't know. Like,
But like, how simple would it be to be like his brainwave pattern? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I guess. I mean, there could
His
probably
life
be
force, the pattern of his life force, like something like that. I'm like, what is it? It's just like wiggly lines on
Again,
a.
this could be something in the manga.
You're probably right.
Okay. Yeah,
I just feel like they dumbed it down, and it made me feel like they thought I'm dumb, and I'm like, don't do that to me, Akira.
They're not wrong.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
I was gonna say that.
Rude. Okay, so his pattern matches the pattern of Akira, and this is the first time we hear about Akira.
Yes.
We don't know what the fuck that is. We don't know what any of it means. Whatever. And then they go, we're going to give him level 7 capsules. We don't know what that is either. Yeah. So then they have this conversation, the scientist and the general, about like the power of God and how they're like talking about what they're playing with. They're like, this is like, big power we're dealing with here. And the general kind of says, yeah, we're pushing it to the limits, but we need to be able to pull the plug if this gets out of hand, which is kind of a running theme of the movie because, as we'll find out, it does get out of hand.
Yep, quite a
Really
bit.
quickly. Yeah. So Tetsuo then like escapes the facility.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm fucking out of here. He steals Kaneda's bike with his girlfriend and runs off. And this is where we get another fucking crazy scene where he gets attacked by the clowns all on his own. And they fuck his girlfriend up. And there's that scene where they rip her shirt off and punch her square in the face.
Yeah.
And
It's hard to watch, man.
Yeah,
It's hard to watch.
Straight violence.
But what I'll say is it's uncomfortable, but they didn't take it far. A lot of
could
other
have taken it farther.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other movies in anime especially that I've watched thanks to you guys, Mikey, your twisted fucking mind, would have taken this to a place that might have made me turn the movie off.
Yeah. Okay. But in the defense of that, it's like you're also looking at this coming out in what 88.
Yeah.
Right. And this is as far as they've been able to take it.
Yeah.
And I'm making you watch shit that's coming out now that has to continuously push that bar and move that goalpost.
You're right.
Right. So like going back to this, of course it's not going to feel as like it's like people who thought Kiss was like the devil's music.
You're right.
And it's fucking classic rock and like
Yeah.
kind of
Disco.
disco
You're right,
clowny.
Right,
It's the
like-
setting of the goal post, which then in the future
Right.
needs to be moved and then moved
Yes.
and then moved.
Right, like
So you're right.
you
I
know,
get you.
watching this back in the day, like I'm not gonna have that same dopamine hit unless I
Yeah.
see something really fucked up.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Because you are a damaged person.
I am like wholeheartedly damaged.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so in this scene, the other thing that's kind of, and again, I don't know what this means, but Tetsuo like almost has a stronger reaction to them threatening to bust up the bike than to them actually busting up his girlfriend. Like he's really broken up that they might kick the bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere, Kaneda shows up to the rescue, and they fuck that gang up, right? So, but this is a crazy scene too, because while they're fucking that gang up, they let Tetsuo beat the shit out of that guy, which
Yeah.
I thought was kind of cool. You know what I mean? And they're like, maybe stop, you're gonna kill that guy, and he's like, no. But then he starts tripping balls.
Serious
Yeah.
hallucinations, headaches.
Yeah. And this is actually kind of one of my favorite scenes in the movie because the visuals are so epic, but they use silence, like I said, that I love in this scene so well. So, like, when he's tripping and seeing his guts falling out, there's no sound happening. You're only hearing his voice, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you're seeing what he's seeing, but you're hearing what everyone else hears.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was like, yes.
Yeah,
good
job
there.
well done.
It
yeah.
is when people can use silence in that way.
brilliant.
It's just it hits so much harder. I feel right
Yeah.
because you almost connect more empathetically than sensationally.
Yeah.
You're right.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
So then the military medics show up out of nowhere and they take Tetsuo away again. And he's in this facility now, like having this trippy ass dream in which the city is crumbling away and he's crumbling away too, but also no sound effects. You know what I mean? Like he's still, you're getting the fact that he's still in the same trip. Like he's still fucked up in the same way, right? Which is cool. So then there's the creepy elderly lady child. Who is also seeing his dream. She's like, oh, I'm seeing what he's seeing. She's explaining to them.
Yeah.
So there's like some telekinesis, telepathic shit going on here.
Yeah.
Now we're back with the general. He's going down to go see Akira. There's this deep underground like safe room that's apparently they say has long since been abandoned.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, again, it's just adding to the ominous nature of what the fuck is Akira? What is it? Why is it down there, right?
Yeah.
And then another thing that adds to that is later there's like a meeting of government elites or whatever, and they're all talking, and most of them want to move on from Akira shit. They're like, we're done with this. Like, we don't need to talk about this anymore, right? Which is crazy because later the general, the colonel or whatever, like loses his rank and goes rogue, and it like gets his army to like execute them all. He's like, go get them all. I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Get 'em.
Yeah. Well, he does a coup, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly,
Like
yeah.
just fucked, usurps
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, and his army's just like, yeah, okay, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
Which I was like, okay, I'm into it. Okay, so Tetsuo wakes up and goes for a drink, and this is the first time you see his powers because he wakes up and goes to reach for the drink, and the drink comes into his hand.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay,
Okay. Yeah.
interesting. What's going on here? And
Telekinesis,
then a giant teddy bear comes to life.
Yep.
Or sorry, it's little at first, and it's crawling all over his bed. And then there's a giant teddy bear that's like made of toys, materializing out of junk or whatever.
Yeah.
And then Tetsuo gets cut by the broken glass. And he starts, and all the like weird toy creatures start freaking out. Like, oh no, he's bleeding! Get out of
So
here!
fucked up, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so crazy,
Super
man.
unsettling.
Yeah.
And
Again.
then Tetsuo goes in the hallway and fucks these two dudes up with zero effort, like a
Yeah.
wave of the hand.
Yeah.
And that scene's cool too, because the way the hallway was lit and the blood splatters around the hallway, fucking primo.
Yeah, man.
Fucking primo shit.
Just that extra bit of care taken to
Yeah.
composition to showing something that could be shown much easier and conveniently, but far worse.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of care, man.
Totally.
Every scene.
Yeah.
Wait, so okay. Why is it okay for you to like weird fucked up violent shit and me to not like weird crazy fucked up violent shit?
Well, these are like not children, first of all.
Well,
Not
okay,
7-year-olds.
That's
no, no,
usually
no.
step one is they're not children.
Yeah.
Well, okay. We're still talking about the Made in Abyss episode.
That's
But
not
it's
the only one, but yeah.
No, but anyway.
No, I mean,
You brought this up, dude. You don't get to
This
say
is double
anyway.
standards. I feel like there's double standards here.
No,
No.
because I prefaced all the Made in Abyss stuff by there are no other shows that do this shit to little children.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but I'm talking about other stuff too. Like
I like the other stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind violence.
I don't give you shit about that.
Yeah.
It's just the little kid stuff, man.
Yeah.
And the fact that you liked the fact that it was kids.
Yeah.
No, I like that it was kids. I specifically, I'm pretty sure I specifically said I just like the fact that it just took me to a crazy place that I didn't think it was going to take me to.
Yeah.
Because they were kids.
Yeah.
the psych
place
out
it
was
took you to.
the psych out was the kids. Anyways, we digress. We're moving on.
Hey, you brought
double
this up, dude.
standards.
You brought it up.
Akira's crazy.
Okay, so
and we don't know what it is.
Meanwhile, while all this is happening, we are following for a little while Kei and Kaneda, and they're like wrapped up in this like anti-government like rebellion crew, and there's this old rat-faced dude helping them, who then later kills. Like he backstabs them, the old rat-faced dude or whatever. And they get caught and there's a chase scene in the sewer, which is kind of cool. And then you find out that the old lady child, like the elderly lady child, is kind of helping Kaneda find Tetsuo through telepathy. Like she's meddling in all sorts of shit. And I don't know if that's in compliance with the government or if that's her taking things into her own hands, because there's a little bit of that with the kids too, right? Where they know that they can't get away. The government's got them, but also they have their own agenda. You know what I mean?
And it's hard for the government to stop them from playing with their own agenda.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to monitor them or stop them?
Exactly.
But that's the thing. Like, anytime you're like under the government or under military watch, I guess, like that, you lose your freedom. So naturally, you would want to do something that gives you a sense of freedom.
Well, and they also have this connection to Akira, whatever the fuck that is, and they like the government has already told us they're like, we're not dealing with that anymore.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we still are. It's our only reason for living.
Yeah.
Okay, so Tetsuo then leaves his room again, and he's like fucking people up and disrespecting his surroundings like crazy. And then he ends up in the children's room, which is like a child's room, and they have this like kind of face off, and you see Tetsuo for the first time flexing his power, and he's like good at it, right away, right? And he kind of likes it, I think.
Yeah, it feels
kind of
good.
impressed with himself.
It feels good. You're chuffed with yourself.
This is what I mean. As I said earlier, like as he starts to feel his power through this story, it starts to bring out all of the troublesome parts of his personality more so.
Totally. And they expand on it even further, because while he's flexing his power and realizing it and experiencing it and liking it, Kaneda shows up. He's like, I'm here to save you. In that moment where he's like, look what I just did.
Yeah.
I don't need you to save me.
Yeah.
I didn't before, and I even more so don't now.
Yeah.
And so he goes full evil mode and turns on Kaneda and kind of attacks him a little bit, and then flies the fuck out of there. So then Tetsuo is like, again, all fucked up now, right? Like he's all the feelings, all the vibes of what's going on with him. He shows up at that bar, skeezy looking bar, and he's looking for capsules, which I assume are drugs. I assume, right? And I'm wondering, like, is that the drugs on Kaneda's jacket, capsules? And I'm wondering, like, is their gang kind of like got drug vibes that they don't really go into?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Because it makes them like a little tougher, and like they're not really a gang before. They're just like a group of friends on bikes.
Yeah.
But when you make that connection, you're like, oh, okay, they're up to no good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing gang shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Gang.
Yeah. So Tetsuo then kills the bar owner, right?
Yeah.
Like just murders him, and then runs into like all his gang mates like immediately afterwards. And then I think he just like runs away from them. He's like, I'm out of here. There is a cool scene though when the gang members show up at the bar and Tetsuo's like up on the counter, like way up top, like looking down on them, and he's all in the shadow and dark. He's like ultra twisted. So that's kind of cool.
Villain shit.
Yeah.
Straight up
Big time villain shit, yeah. Okay, so Tetsuo's in the city now, and this is where he like grabs the torn curtain because there's like a face off with like military there, and he finally ends up like finding Akira after that. And Akira turns out is just like a bunch of jars.
All his
like,
remains have been
remains,
exhumed.
Exactly. So at this point, you assume that Akira was a person, probably like Tetsuo.
An esper of some
an
kind.
esper.
Yeah.
That's what I think, right? I think he was the OG, like first amount of power. Like there's nothing that's been more powerful than this OG person.
Caused that explosion that we see at the very beginning.
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
story.
Right. So,
and you kind of get the vibe that Akira has transcended its body, and that its power is now just power removed from the body. So it's kind of funny that these jars of body parts are held in such high reserve. Like they're not part of it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the people studying it though probably don't realize that. Right?
Yeah.
They're
Of
probably
course they don't.
desperate to pull out anything they can from these remains.
Totally.
well, I'm sure there's also some sort of residual power that's left in that, right? Like so.
Probably.
Yeah.
But the kids, the like elderly children, they understand. Like they know, right? Like because they're connected to Akira in like a telepathic kind of sense.
It's like the Force.
Yeah. So Tetsuo, thank you for bringing it into a realm of my understanding.
Yep.
Amazing. So Tetsuo takes the jars to the stadium where he sets them up, and again, he's got like this little shrine. He set them up. I don't think he even knows what the fuck they are. I don't think he ever heard of them. He's just drawn to them, I think. Do you know what I mean? Or rather, Akira might be reaching out to him in some sort of like non-spoken way. I don't know. There's a connection there, right?
Yep.
And then Kaneda shows up, and Kaneda's just being a dick to him. just pushing his buttons. You know what I mean? Which is such an older brother move. Like, okay, this guy would murder you. He could murder you in a heartbeat. And you're still just like, look at you, fucking little shit. You're nothing. And then he's got this laser gun now too, and he connects and knocks his arm off, right?
Yep.
Then Tetsuo. Wait, is it Kaneda that gets his arm off, or is it the laser from space?
It's the orbital gun that shoots
Orbital,
him.
that's right.
Yeah.
The orbital gun.
Yeah.
That's right, because then Tetsuo flies to space, grabs the satellite, and points it at Kaneda from space.
So crazy.
So amazing, dude. Then there's like boom after boom after boom after boom. There's explosion, and then this is where Tetsuo grows his iconic like debris arm. It's like made of like junk and flesh. It's bulbous and moving and morphing.
Gross.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
So cool.
Yeah. Then Tetsuo's girlfriend shows up at the stadium alone on her own because I don't think she knows what the fuck's going on. She's just like sad and is like, something's wrong with him.
Yeah,
I want to help.
What's happening?
And his arm is like growing and getting all disgusting, right? And what you learn here is he needs the meds that they were giving him in order to keep his power under wraps. Like as long as he's escaped from the facility, this is just going to keep happening to him.
Yeah.
Right? And instead, he just like turns into a giant ball sack. Essentially, right?
Yeah, especially when his face and his cheeks get really swollen.
Yeah.
And like
Totally.
But I also feel like again, it's another scene where they take that aesthetic and then they place it in so many other things.
Oh, that like fleshy, bulbous growing ball sack human.
Yeah, yeah. Or just shit like even the look of like I don't know what that fucking. I've referenced it before in Witcher 3. Where the baby, the little ghoul baby, right? Like you can see like reminiscence of that, or like in other things where
Totally.
it's
badass.
it's so badass.
And so what happens is Kaneda and Kaori both get sucked into it.
Yeah.
And like Kaori's dying.
Kaori
Yeah.
is
and
not
it's like
long for this world.
Totally. And then the elderly children show up, and again, also with no sound effects. Like that's an element they use on purpose when the powers are happening, right? Like when shit's going down, which is kind of cool. And they come to like pray at Tetsuo's little Akira shrine because I don't think I guess they miss Akira and they revere it, and so now that they have a chance to go see it, they just go and sit on their knees in front of it.
Yep.
And then the jars shatter, and Akira just appears, and it's a young boy.
Yep.
Right?
Jasper's a revived Akira.
Yeah, but I think is it like actually like a body, or is it like an image of the body? You know what I mean? Like an ethereal image. It's hard to say. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in like an ethereal like presence. Like again, if we're gonna go back to a Star Wars reference, like when Obi-Wan comes back in his ethereal form, kind of thing.
Okay.
But what's important though is the power that Akira has.
That's right.
Is very real.
Because what happens next is Akira just like turns into light and grows and grows and grows and starts absorbing everything.
Creates it's essentially a singularity or like a black hole.
Yeah, which is
basically
that scene from the beginning of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so what happens here is the kids are seeing this happen, and they're like, "This is what we want to happen." You know what I mean? We want this. We want Akira's power to grow to its full potential, but also like those kids are gonna die.
Yeah.
And so they're like a little conflicted, right? And they're like, we could save Kaneda, we could go in there and get him, but it's risky for us because then we might die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And in the end, they choose to go for it, right?
Yeah.
And then someone calls what's happened. The city's getting wiped out, and someone calls it the birth of a universe, which is kind of cool, right? I don't know why I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, no, it's true though. Like
it's adding to the
Big Bang that's happening on a much smaller scale.
I mean, really, you're right, and it's just showing off how much power Akira really has. That what he's doing can, or they, or whatever, can create a universe, right?
But I also think it was really good to see, like them, the Espers really struggling whether or not to go save Kaneda because it really shows that they haven't lost their humanity.
Totally.
In that way, where Akira kind of has, because it's just almost just pure energy at that point.
Totally.
So,
but like they have to struggle with the fact like they're not going to be able to come back if they go most likely. Like it's a suicide mission.
Yeah.
Did they come back? They did.
Self-sacrifice.
They did come back though because they do save Kaneda, and they're fine. And when Akira is done doing his thing, this like little tiny ball of light falls on the sky, and I guess that's the universe that he created, and Kaneda catches it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that means or what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
Yeah. It's just
symbolic,
life.
maybe
symbolic
of something.
As
that
a
I
symbol,
struggle to
I'm with
understand.
it, but as like an actual physical element of the movie, I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be like a new soul.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but you're right.
know?
The
Yeah.
espers do come back. Yeah.
So the last thing that you see is the clouds break and light streaks across the sky, which also looks really cool and very different from anything you've seen in this movie before. There's a brightness suddenly out of nowhere, right? The bike's all smashed up, and they give it this like beautiful like homage shot where it's like painted all beautifully. It's like all busted up. There's some grass growing around it and shit.
Because they knew even as they were making
They
this,
know.
they're like, guys, this is going to be iconic as fuck.
The bike is the main character of the show.
movie, right?
It might as well be at this point.
Yeah. And then the last thing you hear is 3 lines at the end. The elderly kids and Tetsuo are kind of like just speaking over top of the montage of watching the city come back to life. And all they say is, someday we'll be able to, because it has already begun. And then Tetsuo goes, I am Tetsuo. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
The idea there is they are existing on another plane of existence together.
And I think the I am Tetsuo is actually referring to the fact that maybe he's reached Akira levels of power. So now Tetsuo is
that
the
makes
new
sense,
Akira.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
That makes sense. I like that.
You're welcome.
It's like this cycle that reproduces itself, basically.
Yeah, kind of in a way,
Yeah.
And that's the fucking end of this brilliant goddamn movie, dude.
Insane, man.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It is very engaging, and like to recap it, speaking about what happens here, what happens there, but like the visuals going on in my head
Oh yeah,
are the spectacle here as we're talking about it. You know what I mean? You guys have to understand that you can listen to us talk shit about this movie or whatever all you want.
Yeah.
Nothing will compare to seeing it with your fucking eyeballs.
There's no conversation that can do it justice.
No.
It's
no,
not-
absolutely not. And especially like when it came out, and fuck, I know the nostalgia thing is a huge deal and a huge part of it, but even now, I think when you're watching it compared to what's coming out now, even with CGI and stuff like that, understanding that these were all hand drawn.
Yeah.
Like 16,000, 100, whatever number that I fucking said before.
Right, 1,600,000.
Yeah. That was it, yeah.
Okay, whatever.
That's a lot, guys. That's a big number.
Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just I just have like such an appreciation for it.
Yeah.
Even in that.
And
regard,
for
right?
once, me too, dude.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah.
Dude, so good. And fuck, I really want that bike.
You'll get it one day.
One day. One day.
Yeah.
I would really love it one day.
So I'm going to throw a 9 out of 10 on this movie.
Oh yeah, easy.
An easy 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And again, I recognize that a lot of that is nostalgia. And then if I didn't have that nostalgia, some of the gaps in the powers of the espers and some of the confusing shit at the end would probably lose for me. But it didn't, man. Even years later, rewatching it now, even with a notebook, trying to find holes in it because that's what I do to torture you guys. It was brilliant to me. It was just the most enjoyable watch, man.
Yeah. How about you, Jay?
I'm very similar boat. I think there isn't. This is a perfect example of art that is so good that nothing else fucking matters.
Yeah.
It just looks so good.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know. So like, that being said, unfortunately, knowing that it's an adaptation,
Yeah.
and knowing that it kind of did a
Poor
less
job.
than perfect job at adapting said content,
But
I
that
can't give this.
manga is huge. It's
For sure.
long.
But I would rather maybe have seen this as a show. But then I know the budget wouldn't have been able to be spent on it, wouldn't look as good.
And it wouldn't be as iconic.
It would
Yeah.
cheapen it, right?
Yeah.
But 100%. I'm just saying I can't give it a perfect 10. I
We
really
don't give
can't.
10s
We don't
anyway,
give
so you're
10s.
lucky there.
You guys don't. I never made this promise. But anyways, 9.5.
yeah.
I mean, the story is good. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong. I still enjoy like the story beats, but like
Sure.
that's 9.5 points almost entirely to art.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I give it a 9.5 too.
Nice.
This is probably the epitome of what started it all for anime in North America. Let's be real here. Like it's 9 just because it's great, and but then the 0.5 is just
For its
how
impact.
is not just the impact like on myself, but how much it's influenced all the other stuff that I love so much later on in my life.
Yeah.
Because without this, I wouldn't have gotten the rest.
Yeah.
You know
I
what I
hear you.
mean? Like
Yeah.
so 9.5, 100%. Like
That's actually 95%.
Yeah.
you motherfucker.
Mikey's on the ball with math today.
Yeah, you know exactly what I meant by
I
that.
sure did,
you
buddy.
pretentious asshole.
Hell yeah. Is there an anime about math we should watch to help Mikey?
There is.
No thanks.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's
Okay.
another high ranker, guys. We've been
Another
on a
one.
roll.
I
lately.
think that's probably going to be the highest one. I don't think we've ever been any higher than this one.
Don't count your chickens, but you're probably right.
Yeah, I'll have to
Right,
go back
like-
and watch just the last 10 seconds of our episodes. And
Or Shweebs.
see, yeah.
document.
Shweebs, tell us, for those of you who have been watching from day one,
They're not keeping track.
they're not
No.
keeping track. No.
Neither am I. Nobody should.
Yeah, well, you don't actually know. You just on a whim will rank it.
I just throw numbers out.
yeah.
Yeah, doesn't mean anything.
All right.
All right, guys.
Jay, actually, I'm going to start with you. Where can people find you, buddy?
Hanger.91 on Instagram and hanger91.bigcartel.com. I probably won't have anything Akira for sale.
yeah, but
this
like,
time,
I mean,
Yeah.
there's so
I can't
much
shine
about
a
it.
I can't shine a light to this.
Yeah.
Plus, there's enough out there already.
That's true, yeah.
What about you, Jordy? Where can people find you?
I'm at Reaching In on Instagram, and you can say hi to me there. I'll say hi back, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Mikey Lee. Thanks for watching or listening, guys. Remember to subscribe and all that good stuff. Help us out.
Yep.
Tell a friend.
Hit up at Shmanime Pod on
yep.
socials and say what's up to us anywhere that you find us.
Yes.
Yep. Come
Please
to
and
us
thank
with
you.
your math problems. We'll,
Yeah.
No, don't come to us. With, maybe go to them.
Don't go to me.
Don't go to me.
The difference is that I don't try to pretend and fuck it up. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching.
See you guys.
God,
See ya.
bye.